Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Eric. I'll be taking you through this topic, squares and square roots. And for this lesson, we'll be looking at squares of numbers by factorization method. So we will start by looking at what squares, finding the squares of numbers by factorization method is all about. And for this lesson, we're going to measure on whole numbers only. And then, of course, we'll go through some sample questions on squares of numbers by factorization method. And at the end of this lesson, be able to give you some assignment to help you practice and just to help you gauge your understanding of the concepts as discussed through this lesson. So we want to see how you can use factorization method to find the squares of numbers. And for this lesson, we'll just be narrowing down to whole numbers only. So factorization is something that you have done before. You can check on our previous videos how you write a number as a product of its prime factors in power form. That is basically what you need to apply. So what you're going to do is that each of the given numbers, we're going to express them as a product of their prime factors in power form. And because it's square, we're going to multiply each of the powers by 2. So in expressing the given number here as a product of its prime factors in power form, we've talked about two methods. One, successive division method, and we've also looked at factor tree. So factor tree is easier. So let's try to draw this. So this left-hand side will be writing the prime factors, on the right-hand side will be writing the results. So for example, the smallest prime number that can divide 12 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we continue until when you have a prime number on the right-hand side. Like 6 is not yet prime, so I'll have to continue. So which is the smallest prime number that can divide 6 is 2. So 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3 times. So once we have prime, we just express the number 12 as a product of these prime factors, which is 2, 2, and 3. So we have 12 equals to 2 by 2 by 3, which is equals to 2 power 2 by 3 power 1. So 12 squared, because that's what we are trying to find the squares of the following numbers by factorization. So it's prime factorization method. Actually, it should be prime factorization method. So 2 power 2 by 3 power 1, but then because of squared, you also raise it to power 2 there. But then, because it's a square here, you have to raise all the powers here to power 2. So you multiply this by 2 and you multiply this by 2. So this is going to be 2 power 2 by 2 is 4, and 3 raised to power 2, that is also 2, 1 by 2. So you multiply, basically you multiply all the powers by 2. So 2 by 2 is 4 and 1 by 2 is. So that is going to be, again, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. 2 multiplied by itself 3 times. So by 3 by 3. So 2 by 2 is 4. 2 by 2 is again 4, and 3 by 3 is 9. So this is going to be 16 by 9. So we have 16 multiplied by 9. 9 by 6 is 54. 4 carry 5. 9 by 1 is 9 plus 5 is 14. So 144. So it means 12 squared is equals to 144. So the square of 12 is 144. So that is using prime factorization method. So sometimes you can be asked in the exam to leave your answers in power form. Like the answer would just be this. You will not have to simplify it further. Again, we have 25. So you'll do the same thing with 25. So smallest prime number is 5 because they are 5 times. So it means 25 is just 5 raised to power 2, or 5 times 5. You just multiply the prime factors 5 by 5, which is 5 power 2. So 25 squared, which that's what we're trying to find, is 5 raised to power 2 squared. So you need to multiply the power here by 2. So 2 by 2 is 4. So that is going to be, you can leave the answer in this form, or you can break it down further. So 5 by 5 by 5 by 5, which is 25 again, by 25, which is 625. So remember, the square of a number is, the symbol used is power 2, as we have discussed in the previous video when we were doing introduction to squares and square roots. So the symbol used is 2, is power 2, power 2. So that still means the same thing, but now we're using factorization, prime factorization. So the word is prime factorization method. So what you do is to express this number 20 as a product of its prime factors in power form. So again, 2 goes there 10, 2 goes there 5. And once you have the prime factors, you just have 20 is equals to 2 by 2 by 5, which is equals to 2 power 2. If you don't know how we express this in power form, a product of the prime factors in power form, then you can check from our previous videos. Again, we've done videos on that, which can also help you navigate through that. So times 5 power 1. But basically, you just need to check how many times has 2 been multiplied here. So twice, then that becomes the power of 2. 5 is only 1, so power 1. And so 20 squared will be 2 raised to power 2, 5 raised to power 1, and then you square, meaning each of the powers here will be multiplied by 2. So 2 by 2 is 4, and 1 by 2 is 2, so 5 power 2. So that will be, so you can sometimes be asked to leave the answer in this form. That is an answer actually. It can't be an answer, but you can still break it down further so that we have 2 raised to power 4 times 5 raised to power 2 being equal to 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 4 times, and then 5 by 5. So we have 4 and we have 4. That is, you group them in groups of 2 or in pairs, and then we have 25. So we have, usually it's advisable that when you reach such a scenario, you multiply 2 of the numbers that will give you a number that is ending in a 0. For example, 25 by 4 is 100. And then you multiply by this 4. So 25 by 4 is 100. Then you multiply by the 4 there. So that is giving you 400. See, that is easier. So 20 by 20 is 400. So again, we have 75. You'll do the same thing. 75 here. So we have 3, 25, and 5 goes into 25 5 times. So just multiply this. So it means 75 as a product of these prime factors in power form will be 3 by 5 by 5, which is equals to 3 power 1 by 5 power 2. So 75 squared will be 3 power 1 by 5 power 2, and then you multiply by, you raise to power 2. So it means each of the powers is multiplied by 2. So 3 power 2 and 5 power 4. So 1 by 2 is 2 and 2 by 2 is 4. 1 by 2 is 2, 2 by 2 is 4. So sometimes we can ask you to leave the answers in this form in exams, and sometimes you can be asked to break it down further. So we have 3 power 2 and 5 power 4 being equal to 3 by 3, then 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. So in groups, in pairs, you can do this will give us 9, that will give us 25, and this will give us 25. So 25 by 25 is 625, and then you multiply by 9. So long multiplication method, 625 by 9, what do you get? 9 by 5 is 45, so 5 carry 4. 9 by 2 is 18, plus 4 is 22, 2 carry 2. 9 by 6 is 54, plus 2 is 56. So we have 75 squared being 5,625. So that marks the end of the lesson. We have a few questions to help you practice, using prime factorization method. So you can always attempt, post the responses on the comment section, be able to look at them and give feedback accordingly. Otherwise, that marks the end of the lesson. Until next time, goodbye.